shall say the shall say from Manchester Derby. Manchester Derby over the Etihad Stadium. The last 16 matches now, Manchester United akọ Etihad akọ bono. Omo winning just 4. Just 4 matches out of 16 against Pep Guardiola ewo the Etihad. Boss player since 2020-2021 season, Manchester United aim to me winning back-to-back Manchester derbies. After the last time we win 2-1 against Manchester City at the Etihad, no, we win this time account. No much many back-to-back wins in the Manchester derby. Okay. Now, Ocha Tima, your friend of Manchester City, so at the last 2 Manchester derbies, boss player nyadi oma win bi, oma draw bako, and oma lose bako. And Ocha manager Ruben Amorim and Pep Guardiola, the last 2 encounters between the 2 coaches, no, Pep Guardiola and soon to me more Ruben Amorim. Until statistics na be back in Manchester City and they been so back team friend of Manchester United. Yeah. But my catcher say any stats na ya na ebobo no, any history na ya na ebobo no. But parking so no ma ekoso no and ebobo no. But play a match where I'm tipping some Manchester United able to me win match we. Man United able to me win match we. Now for the first time in my analysis, me very optimistic about Manchester United facing a big sider or a huge chance of winning against that big side. Now there are so many factors make us able to me Manchester United to me winning the Manchester City. Injuries a factor. Manchester City players in the be April, but also the style of play now Manchester United able this season with a direct style of play, a lot of transitions, a lot of carries. A year now Manchester City struggle with that kind of teams. It is a Pep Guardiola or Babe share Manchester United be a or some Manchester United a transitional team. It is the BIA no with a cautious approach. So Obobo ni bebre na tonechi Manchester United ebeshano. It is our direct approach, Ayana Manchester City struggle against these particular teams. But tactically, Yashan Womabia, Manchester City, Manchester United able to me taking advantage of it. And then Womabia Manchester United, and so Manchester City is able to me taking advantage of it. Now, you're starting free Manchester City pressing. Now, I have no Manchester United fan, and EGA, because we to me are exploiting Manchester City for a pressing. Now, watch Manchester City for pressing now. It is influenced by Pep Linders. Pep Linders, former assistant coach of Jurgen Klopp or Liverpool. Pep Linders approach mostly a +1 -1 pressing, insisting on say Obenya +1 in the deep areas. Normal call with the zonal approach now move it to a man-to-man up front. And to almost pressing normally with a 5 men up front. 5 men the striker no be lead press no a divided press no a corner with the wakwa one side of the pitch. And no be na Manchester City for you know. Etucha Manchester City press na the wingers no mostly omoba narrow. Now so wingers no eba narrow boss player the say the fullbacks are always free to receive. It's Manchester City press no shot against Wolves also nipa 5 na kwakwa press. But nipa 5 no wingers no ewo inside. It is Dokuni Oscar Bob mo inside. And now Wolves for a fullback and I want 10 or my free say to me receive. Now what is the problem with this? Now the moment as our fullback ne be free or be receiving or to me a carry ball no forward. Now all carry ball no forward. No Manchester City in that situation so best keep a high line. Because of pressing high and we use a high line. It's a dangerous situation for team and friend of Manchester City. And so far so good. Matches or my bono. Teams are breaking those pressing it down. Wolves are breaking it down. But when to me a friend go. Spurs are breaking it down but Odinya go. And a Brighton so breaking it down Odinya go. It is also trend now with how easier a year to manipulate team and friend Manchester City press through the wide areas by finding the free fullbacks now. Manchester United able to me ISRD Manchester United or inverted central centre back ne wing backs ever drop low. It is a wing backs drop low there meaning says in their distribution a pinpoint ball to either Dogu and now about a friend Dalo and now Amad Diallo nebaba able to me serve as a main outlet for team and friend Manchester United to get out of the press from Manchester City. And say to me breaking Manchester City press Etwaso baako mienu miensa, there are two options for them. Either some be adjusted press, normal ko in a full man to man. Normal solve the situation now, or more leaving full backs no free no. And now say they will come and sit in a block. The problem with sitting in the block when it's a Manchester City is not accustomed to say on the long periods of the game without the ball. Manchester City no ope ball ni kura. But sa oye a situation be on to be nya ball ni enkura. Ebe ha no. Eti obaba in a block, sa block no so nim defend it. It's Manchester United in this situation. As we finding solutions to break through the press of team and friend Manchester City. Yeah. 05 question here image no. Tottenham Hotspurs also fullback near free. Pedro Porro is free. And to me about long ball Eddie Akwakuma Pedro Porro. Mami next image. Oscar Bob also Bob pressing narrow.
Yes.
The same free man just Spence at the left back position. Also able to me now Oji another situation. Oscar Bob pressing narrow, fullback in a free. Now, so fullback in a free. No better to me receiver 05 my next image or receiver or facing a high line. If you have a player facing play against a high line, and Makacho said, yes, I pay a danger for who opponents now who defend them. It's Manchester United against the pressing of team and friend Manchester City. I'm expecting them to go out of the press. Umbe to me free pressing him. With just one ball to the fullback. It's I tell by in there no money nkasa. Against Arsenal no distribution yeah. On trust no money distribution in yeah okay sir. No more long balls no and family wide areas no because I think say ya na City for number press. In the first 3 matches say ya no more pressing and in the press conference Pep Guardiola insisted on say on be maintaining consistency with what they are doing. And the idea we are more the trademark of Pep Linders and then also no be maintaining. And to me finding the deficiencies no more progressive through. Who progressive through a more advantage. Either they adjust and now say they sit in the block or adjust here any to me or sit in a block or Abua Manchester United, you have more control over the match. By a bekono now by in there elbow bubble ball ball no to na omun to me locate free players no wide area there na meaning say won so control no a free one side
yeah
into two sides of the coin who breaking the bebre a na unya control no one breaking the bebre a unya control no into I think say e be hwe kwan a team and friend Manchester United will get out of the present situation of team and friend Manchester City. Now Manchester City players in bebre
Man City
bebre prayer.
And that's you na.
And that's no.
Okay, on Facebook page, yes. Angel FM.
Yes.
Hey, with the list of because first 11 now.
First 11 bebre woma almost 30. Bebre wom checking him Ryan 8 Nori, Mobi, Josko Vardio, Kusanov, Rico Lewis, John Stones, Phil Foden, Kovacic, Savinho, and Omar Mamush. Notable mentions in the Bono. Also, where your players are, boss player, important. Kusanov equal woman, Kobabwa inside obey dealing with the transitions. Just cover Abelboa in the progression and also in the transitions. John Stones Abelboa in the progression, also in the transitions. Ryan Etunori Abelboa push it forward. I'm out that wide presence in the because we're good in the 1v1s and we're good with the runs. No, Onusuni ho Omar Mamush with how good that we so obo together with Highlander. To taking advantage of each other. Space on be creating amomo. It was these players now omunim no.
Yeah.
I bet to me affecting Manchester City. It's in America say injury so I one of the main reasons that me who Manchester United able to me picking a win against Manchester City. It is all these players any replacement and how many now the problem are a one Manchester United hono omo out of possession shape no. Na makasa how out of possession shape way. The moment Manchester United able to me adjusting the kitwe bi no, able to me abo omo akwa a long way throughout the season.
Say ball no free omo nsema.
Na omaba in the block no. Shape na omo timu in that block no. Problems bere wom. And young quite bia, young against Fulham.
Okay.
Asambe na mako silver time. Ose no munim kwan Manchester United be fast we defending. and omunim problems are a Manchester United a defensive shape nim. Eti omo finding ways biya. Ombetumi ama Manchester United and watch omo in that shape. Eti ekwamba so no ye no. Ose omo di Iwobi. Esa ban fifi. Ebe ma team e friend full of more numbers. Eti mamisa image no na yenko
on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
Manchester United normally they defend the 5-2-3. Makato says how 5-2-3 we mostly share with the 3-2-5. Aya na eboa. Share with the 3-2-5, especially static 3-2-5. Omo me static na omo nye flexible no. Aya na eboa pa. It is 5-2-3 no. Enya say entirely say bad there be. Yenim coach friend Oliver Glasner. Or you 5-2-3. But what is the difference between Oliver Glasner and Ruben Amorim? Oliver Glasner no 5-2-3 no. Obetumi amana about 5-4-1. But Ruben Amorim 5-2-3 no. Ne hesitation of say all man ma 5-4-1 no. And what team friend no Manchester United. About 5-4-1 can solve a lot of issues because of how our two pivots no. You be overload omo. Over 4 ye overload omo. Two pivots no narrow. Over 4 and narrow biom. But some adaptations, Ruben Amorim no, or you reluctant to say obey.
Na say onya flexible e won tactics.
I was 5-2-3 hono. Minim de ohun wo 5-2-3 nim. If you shot Fulham now, on say Wobin am the red na to so no. Okay. Ono so ban fifi. Now 4 players against Manchester United 2. E won fifi 4. Overload. That is the problem. And Marco Silva can want some. And then Marco Silva and Swan Kwanaka. Most of the coaches, you know, about Manchester United a 5-2-3 shape, no. And because of this 5-2-3 shape, no, Manchester United are easy to penetrate. Because over to me overload, no. No, find the free man, no. Now the defensive line is space in the there. And they say easy so be run the final third.
Oh, but I want 5 men at the back. Now, if I say 2 no cry and to me and capture midfield, now you defeat you have 5 men at the back to defend. And
most player back 5 no. Mostly football fans who back 5 no mo can say and one no. And yes aneti. Most player back 5 no. You are conceding less men up front. So me defending a 4-4-2. I have 4 in the middle, 2 up front. That is player 6.
6, yeah.
The moment I'm about back 5, no, meaning say a chile 5, and ni munaka 5. It's 1 extra man now. Kobe buam when you want me dinner by chile. It is a me person me press here. Mean to me first have 5 men and press it.
The defenders are starting from attack.
And no. It is a front man and to me and press it. And to me, I'm putting pressure on more club on so there. Meaning, constantly backline be facing a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And nothing I make a choice. I said 3-2-5 no. What the 5-2-3 neighbor Shiana? I say 5 against 5, 2 against 2, 3 against 3. Ube to me a mature moment to man.
Yeah.
Against Obio static or use 3-2-5. But because she Obio fluid. Now allow the test and so obe drop it. Or allow the test and so obe deeper. Obe overload do so 3-2 no.
Yeah.
That is where the situation with the 5-2-3
because the more o midfield no ntimi retaining ball no na echo back line the more ball they corner.
The more ball be call.
The more the mistakes be.
And no problem no. And with the back 5 no so advantage a woman say so back 4 with center backs no omun to me and jumping my anymore. Because 2 center backs. But back 5, I mean, say you have 3 center backs. It's a center back, no. Ebe to me jump at the anymore. But the problem here, the direction of the jump. And the meters now also jumping. So me a vertical jump within 5 meters. I mean to me,
okay.
Decide them know what here. Now me also mean free me back line him. And me jumping mouse. And also and what metene me nsana obi a wotie me na obi a ohweme no o de ontene ne nsana nkwa animu ne nsana otene kwa animu a ba bia ne nsana besi no na obi gina nanim na aka so on jump mra ho a enye de also meters ne wa a vertical jump it will not so jumping but in a situation of 5 ko ani mame ni ehwe sa situation ni bi na wo ka kire on player ne say onye more than 5 meters jump 10 meters na omra me jump no hwe image yi hwe ba bi o iwo bi gina
yes
ojina be touch line
center back
One is a fan.
I thought they fullback adwuma.
Exactly. Now fullback no be sit down no aba. Ya pinning no because wing and so da ho. It's the situation with the back five no. Our advantage. You can match your an attacking line 5v5. You can have extra center backs jumping. But a him fan no mu jumpy aba. Meters sign no mu jumpy. A diagonal jumps and a vertical jumps. Say just a short vertical jumper will be jumping. But a diagonal jumper all free the defensive line no about wide area be jumping will be slow because to create that back line him. That is Manchester United's problem. Manchester United problem ni nyina no. It is a man you bobo. Now cause a player ni en jump pick to obi a obeye. Se player no jump pick to obi obetumi jump pick to obi. But cause a player ni jump bebre. O jump emra ni mu mo a obesuro ntumi ma. And some player na opesu o jump ni obetumi so apin no. You can pin a wide center back in your back five. Pep Guardiola so tie bi or the Erling Haaland na tie side juma. Sa o hwe Fluminense ni Chelsea ni bia dia Enzo Maresca dey Fluminense for no. Omo defending the back five. And no use João Pedro. Sa bone bass side we no use João Pedro. E dia pin on center back no. It will center back no on to me jump ma. Because so center back na so jump back.
Yeah.
O use two pivot. You bet me overload pivot no e narrow. It is a player be appear in between the lines. I also be picking our player. They also picking our player and your wide center back are all jumping. Now it's a sound wide center back. No man and jumpy. I'm a free man in between the lines. So be to me receive. A two-shot image now. Connect image, mommy. Look so. Also case will jump back. But it will be up to no so. On to me jumping because jumpy as a player no better. Now dogu. Or no ko be to me. I and I just say ko jumping diagonal jump the back. Player no in between and sorry vertical jump aba player no in between the lines no but no soon to me nyedi entia winger da ho winger pen no. These are the problems at Manchester United and these problems ni ba be share a team on also overload the midfield team pen ball ni fan fifi team mostly more numbers ni won fifi. So how do you deal with an overload in the midfield? O center backs no constantly lombe jump ya ba na omu jumpy back space na ebeka no. Can you quickly shift from a back five to a back four? Inter Milan under Simeone Inzaghi. So now wide center back jumpy back. Ubo quickly no ma back four. Quickly na upie no ma back four. In the first 3 matches man who Manchester United yebi. It's a better kwan be first we dealing with this central overload. But the moment how be adapt no go 5-4-1. Obako 4-4-2 no, it solves a lot of issues. It solves a lot of issues at the amount. It's about the situation on how our Manchester United will deal with team and friend Manchester City or more attacking structure no, with a lot of numbers inside. No, to say crowd to me is 3-1-6 no. To say the number can last season no, with the fullback inverting. It is time to about Rico Lewis 05 kwani mame. Rico Lewis. No, we're inverting. But we invert here no te ano hona. So obeje on the side. Also the same thing that Wolves use. A narrow defensive shape. And to have Nico Williams Rico Lewis in Jina. Also Jina wonchen wa obeje. What is the situation now? There's a 2v2 against Wolves for a DMs no won fifi. It's one is a jumpy back. Also center back no is a jumpy back. Center back no so also be jumpy back because Haaland and Echi. You won't risk going 1v1 against Haaland. Opa so go 2v1 against Haaland. It will not so beba. Once a wing back no soon to be jumping but because a winger in Oscar Bob are paying. These are the scenarios in the Manchester United match. If Ombeko with the 5-2-3, they'll be receiving on the side of the narrow block, they'll be overloading the midfield, and they'll be enticing Manchester United for centre backs and say, Omu jumping family anymore. It's a better sign situation ABCI. But when you say Manchester City there, on any bomb match and said then no crab one said then counter attack Ubenya. Man City can't boss player transitions the Ubenya be. It's Manchester United phoning defending. No more force one say or more risky passes. More risky passes are a bit playing to the favor of Manchester United. No more hit your more on the transitions because Manchester United front line no mukrano. A transitional front line. Sesko, Kunya, Abranti a friend or Mbuomu, Samount or Obebo, Ama Diallo na bebo. Into omo defend ye, omo taking more risk, name play into the hands of team and friend Manchester United. But another advantage in so Manchester United ebesa enjoy and say Pep Linders as I say we're in charge of the pressing and the defensive structure of team and friend Man City no up a high line. Pep Linders up a high line.
Corner ni more.
Up a high line two Kai Jordan Crop Liverpool no more high line.
Johnny attack
Pep Linders insano. It will show Manchester City against Brighton. Narrow shape, high line, no pressure on the ball. Mami, another image against Tottenham Hotspur. Narrow shape, no pressure on the ball, high line.
They say high line, they say no. Per instructions, Anna.
Per instructions, sound on pen.
Okay.
Omu born no. Sound Pep Linders in the pen. And a sitting so with even without Pep Linders, no more so a ball high line. But last season we saw a lot of high line situations.
Yeah.
Now. What Manchester United or Bruno Fernandes from deep obetumi unlock you.
The ball pass now.
Casemiro crowd in the long ball.
Yes.
Obetumi unlock you. And Manchester United and so on also born the ball on the tougher wide areas pa. And so to me locate wing backs now obetumi abo ball no from the wing at the see or backline each. It's City for high line no. Manchester United can break the high line. City for high line no. Manchester United can break the high line and the player on behind the name no Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes so far so good boss player. Premier League now abono were created 12 chances. To the creative outlet for team and friend of Manchester United and Obo from deep. And from a deeper area obetumi abo those long balls no e dey see backline echi e dey ama runners no na runners no why na airco Brian Mbeumo. And also in terms of runs in behind, so far so good this season. Why 54 times runs in behind? Eti for Casemiro long ball ability no, for Bruno long ball ability no. Even the centre backs in Euro and the let's move a long ball ability look so from the left centre back. Obet me access every angle from the left. The long ball ability no. Nafaka Mbeumo. Sa Obaya willing to run in behind. Shasko Baba Obaya willing to run in behind. A bit to me a recipe of disaster for team and friend Manchester City. Yeah. It is sad tactics way. You better say Manchester United ebe employ. But boss player, ahano a bit to me cross out play another advantage to Manchester United. So what about tier high line?
Angels.
Oh high line na. Adia na ebo Barcelona no. Oni omo bona hu high line na oh who space.
Yeah, quite actually.
No what just say wani nyina bie space na da okakraka. Now the America opa so bobo ni two space ni muntem. Now bobo ni two space ni muntem a. Na Barcelona no abeje no de ba. Now so age no bobo ni de si akire. Now omo age no mo de bench. Be ma game na chaotic. Now so game na chaotic a play in the favor of Manchester United rather than Manchester City. Because in those situations, Manchester United, almost drive pa Pep Guardiola and chaos. Manchester United no so almost drive in chaos. It is a bonus type of chaotic. Best how Manchester United more. It's a better choir and wants to Manchester United. Ebe first why your monoma. But this is a Manchester United team. When you're more SG 6.78, when you're more short 58, 44 in the box. When you have more touches in the box, 99. When you have more shots in the on target, 16. But the conversion rate is 6.9. Or boss shot, no. When you SG, but boss player, sa or the ball be 2 poor no. And I ask him, but then say you better send a normal BCI. But set pieces and so be very very important.
Yes.
Manchester United, they come once him. Boss player in terms of set pieces and normal enkoye and fan matima your friend Manchester United and I tell you in them soon a boss player ebe demwa ebe hati me friend Manchester United ye pa set pieces in the bar and kwamba soon obe first waba be claim because mostly teams in target no to Manchester United and so share set pieces in ye. This is in Manchester City a set piece coach a friend James French. On say Carlos Vicens Echo Braga. And Jack Wilson also free ho. This is your for James French, formerly of Liverpool. No, you almost set piece in the one. The boss player says set pieces are important. But boss player Metapedia, member Manchester United 50 to 55%. Number team and friend of Manchester City so 50 to 45%. na boss player Chelsea ne Brentford no Kit Andrews na Brentford for coach na wo Kit Andrews no so ball na there are some similarities between Ono and Thomas Frank. Kit Andrews na set piece coach the Thomas Frank at Brentford. It's Thomas Frank ne kono and okura ne licenses bibia kama dia omonfa adwuma no emfama no. And so far so good on Mabono 3 matches omo win just one. Omo win just one out of the 3 matches. And that one win also at home against my friend Aston Villa. Almost from by 1-0. And some match the defense na Brentford 4 boy you know. Sad defense na Brentford 4 boy Villa 4 struggle here. Say ombe to me break you omo down. Now Brentford 4 no omo Chelsea 4 ne ba be bona derby.
Brentford Chelsea.
Derby because omo no omo be omo ho pa.
And match na down asanya match bia
because of Chelsea 4 ne sana ya na adom so kakra no. But in recent time, Chelsea so struggle kakra so call Brentford hona. Okay. And Oba be share team so on so be side defending. And so far so good. Chelsea for first 3 games no ma no mu share teams so mu defending. Crystal Palace, Fulham, West Ham. These were teams are not with the compact mid or low block. Chelsea better share be in Brentford. And you require not Chelsea for struggle, particularly against Fulham and Crystal Palace. West Ham for Makajo so more block defending no and shut down yet. It's you require not Chelsea for never to breaking it down. Yeah. But I know Crown Chelsea scored most of their goals from set pieces. 3 goals out of 5 from set piece, 2 goals pen and from open play. It's a very quiet Chelsea for no. Ever first will break it to my friend Brentford down. Yeah. Because Brentford will use back 5. Crystal Palace use back 5. West Ham use back 5. Fulham call back 5 nibi. What say be see another back 5? A Quambe soon have first were breaking it down because in recent times then who's also struggle against a back 5. Now a Quambe soon na Chelsea for efforts to breaking these blocks down. Chelsea 3-2-5, a bit to me 3-1-3-3. But to say you a new iteration in terms of the attacking of Chelsea, abra DM no ebe deep, ebe come back line no. Now all you so DM no as the means of progressing. It's a who beat a West Ham. Sana Caicedo, a drop it at the Baba Klein. You who beat here, team a friend Crystal Palace in the second half. Now Caicedo, a Baba Klein, a Bajabon, Eddie Breaky. Now, Makacho said, if you're using a double pivoter, it is believed say to me a blocking passing lanes. No? But all you see a single pivot on 51, it opens up the passing lanes. I'm out to me allocate or players no more higher up the pitch. No? And Nuna Enzo Maresca, no? It with Caicedo, on the or Baba Klein. About me penetrating to my friend Brentford a block no more finding or more players no more higher up the pitch in Enzo no more rely on the creativity with Estevao no more rely on creativity no but the main situation choir Enzo Maresca be first to out profiling these players in the attacking structure against Crystal Palace you will say or invert Abrante friend Cucurella and or the Chaloba mum the left center back I'm watching my friend in Chelsea in the progression. Because Chaloba on a left-footed player. So Kukurela na na ke bot Chaloba hona a left-footed player but me assess angles no not to me progressive at their mom. It's against West Ham we saw Kukurela at the left center back near Boa Chelsea in their progression. It's first in also profiling players ni ye. Our attacking structure him. Not the players no to baby ya. Ombe to me bobo ni ye. It is a Kukurela that left center back. Now be pushy about a friend Malo Gusto high. Now the Estevao will be inside, just like the West Ham gamer. I think say a bit to me aboa team and friend Chelsea. To me a moment to me share Brentford. But in Brentford bar, you should be wary of the transitions. You should be wary of the long balls. About a friend you go Thiago no who want the physical center forward.
You go Thiago.
Obe how long balls no be out to Dango Ouattara or pace on the transitions. Obe how. Kevin Schade, another skillful player, good in 1v1s, good in transitions. It's a 1 year or more any year. No more share Yama look. And the Damsgaard move and Fifin Wuye. These are players who want the ability to pick passes, normal locating or more forwards. No? But boss player in all the mirror. Chelsea bet to me a picky win, no. Eddie team my friend Brentford. But many back quarters match, no. Now pay attention to how on the breaking blocks on the down. Now on more weekend over the weekend, weekdays, neighbor, no, also on about Champions League against Bayern Munich. It may be on less cautious approach no matter say more risky players no more
Angel
against my friend Bayern Munich. Barcelona and Valencia there. You better the reaction.
Say one way traffic. I don't know.
But we na any one way traffic sir. They tell me cause any one way traffic in the Barcelona are struggling. Barcelona obi beka say ye ha ni asem ne nye bibia ne escalate
BBNC ana mo pese mo yes say BBNC
o say ka wo bo o 3 first games our away now unya 7 points out of 9 akeye because Okoson boy e ho no enough from sa Okovayekas e ho kra o struggle dada etika these stadiums now akono count to me pick points ni bi wo ho a Ceuta de Valencia Levante 4 and stadium e ho no also these are stadium bia a little bit hostile it do pick 7 points out of 9 Kenya Bonne but Hansi Flick problem here how the team is playing. It is not about the results. So, me see the actual results now. Oben me see the key issues no. Results ni there. Yes. What team anya 3 points when niaje. But the way a team say attack Barcelona, the way a team say create chances be Barcelona, the way a team say able to score goals against Barcelona no. One Hansi Flick and my country say Hansi Flick system no, especially the defensive side no, it boils down to intensity. You have to press. You have to run. And players look so far so good. They are not pressing. They are not running. Counter pressing no form. Pressing no from the front no our form. It's easy for teams no to attack Barcelona. Now who go share team my friend in Valencia. Both player almost consider just 20 shots in the top 5 in terms of player teams are almost consider most shots no almost can be. And when him start back could be so almost a womb. Say your ball area do or sa team or pick a second ball pan on that first Valencia for no it is a Barcelona for no very very careful and with Carlos Cobran meaning say last season Barca almost 7-1 and 5 but want to be found compare last season and compare this season two different situations and this season they are doing well. It is a match you better the reaction of team a friend in Barcelona. Ni a kwan be so a defending because as Flick has a breakaway, a important break at the Barcelona because on be trans normal assessing the situations no say free on no coach no and now say a free players no but from me perspective no a free players no say free coach no because o adjust the system ni kakra bi a boa o be adjust jai say o ma wingers no e pressing narrow no mo stay wide. Nem protective fullbacks no uye sa adwuma we ebetumi aboa team a friend Barcelona enti ebe heard the reaction of team a friend Barcelona nyambo china 7 o'clock so Valencia for no ebe mo tough time Liverpool dem be win on the Burnley Scott Parker be hard in the defensive approach but on be win you better say Ishak so ebenya debut na me mo hoho so abaso for the fantastic display.
Yeah.
Boss player born in the